Today my guest is Gerry Whelan from Archer Glass in Brisbane. Gerry, welcome to the program, and it's storm season.
That's right. Thank you, Wayne.
What's your advice for people this time of year in regard to storm season?
Well, I suppose the main thing you can do around your home is make sure things that can be picked up by strong wind and blown against windows and other things that are breakable are put away, maybe put in a shed, put around the back and the sheltered side, something like that, so that at least you haven't got that immediate risk. In terms of branches or trees, there isn't a lot can happen that you can do until on the day. And the main thing really is to move stuff that you're in control of. And maybe if you see the forecast is for a strong storm warning, then if you've got wooden blinds or thick curtains, you could close those over on the inside at least, that if something does come through, it might save it coming further and maybe injuring somebody or doing more internal damage to furniture and stuff like that.
And so, Gerry, the damaged glass that you see from storms doesn't come from just wind pressure against the glass. It's normally from objects hitting the glass, is it?
Correct, yeah. It's almost always objects being blown against them, and then sometimes large hail if it's wind driven as well. Even the hail, if it's coming straight down, doesn't usually hit the windows.
Oh, I see. So cleaning up and tidying up those loose objects is the key message. Going back a while, it used to be that everyone was putting tape on their windows for storms. Does that do any good, or is it just a myth?
It's just a bit of a myth, really, because the glass will still smash if the large hail hits it. And sometimes the tape actually just makes it more dangerous, because when you go to try to take it out or clean it up, because some of it is taped together, then it becomes more difficult to take it apart and get rid of it piece by piece.
Now, if you do get a piece of glass broken in a storm, should you try and take it out and clean it up, or do you just call the glazier? What's the process?
The best thing is to let the glazier remove the broken glass, because he'll have the wrist protection and gloves and eye protection, etc., that's required to handle it safely. Whereas, and also he's used to handling broken glass, or she, of course.
Yeah.
But the average householder wouldn't have handled much broken window glass, so the chances of injury are much stronger then. So it's probably best left. Call your glazier and just let them deal with the whole situation. Maybe if you had a board or something like that you wanted to just put against it, or put some furniture or other items around it in the way to keep children away, something like that. But trying to deal with the broken glass is probably best avoided.
And I guess if you've got a piece of broken glass, some of it's going to be safety glass that's going to be shattered, some of it will be laminated glass that breaks in a different way, but some of it may well be older style glass that can be quite dangerous with shards of glass.
Yeah, anything that's not safety glass, that's normal annealed glass, that's known as, will break in large shards, which is your standard window glass today is still not toughened safety glass. It's just 4mm annealed glass, and it just breaks in large shards. Shower screens and doors tend to have grade A safety glass and areas like that. So that would be less of a problem, because when the laminated breaks, it holds together like your front car windscreen. But when the glass breaks, then it's like your side car windscreen. It shatters in tiny pieces, but they're less dangerous than those large shards that you get with non-safety glass.
And I guess if there is a big storm comes through town, glaziers get busy. Do you need to talk to the insurance company first, or should your first call be to your glazier?
Yeah, you could call your glazier first. As a householder, you have a right to choose your own glazier, whichever one you like. It might be that you need to request a quote from him first and then contact your insurance with that, because normally after a storm, you could have a 2-3 hour wait to speak to your insurance because you're just on hold that long. Whereas in the meantime, by calling a glazier, you could actually have something already done. And then you can pay the glazier, and with your receipt or invoice, then put your claim in and just get reimbursed by your insurance company. But a phone call to the insurance company at the earliest convenience is a good idea too, so you can get cleared to do that.
Gerry, being in the semi-tropics as you are, sometimes there are large hailstorms and a lot of damage. Hail has to be wind-driven before it does much damage, I gather.
Yeah, that's right. If it's coming in diagonally with the wind, then it's hitting straight on the surface of the window glass, and it doesn't have to be all that big to make its way through with the force of the wind as well. But with coming down straight, of course, unless it bounces on the concrete outside and then hits the window, the chances of it breaking glass are pretty slim.
Now, I guess sometimes the hail damage doesn't, bust the whole window out. It just puts a little crack in the glass. Is it still worth getting a glazier out to have a look at that minor damage to glass panels?
Yes, you'd still need to get it replaced because the chances are the next strong wind just by itself or a door slamming means the cracks from that little fracture will just travel, and then a piece might fall out and injure somebody. So it's best to still just get it replaced.
Even minor damage can turn into major damage then.
Yeah, because it won't just sit there. It's like the crack in the glass, it's fractured now, so just some vibration is enough to make that spread and maybe fall out.
Gerry Whelan from Archer Glass, it's been a pleasure having you with us today. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Wayne. Always a pleasure.